Hey, it's Woody. I'm continuing to regain my voice, getting healthier. I'm here at some soccer fields, and I think I'm going to fly today if everything works out. I feel like my camera's a little crooked. I don't know. There's a newer pilot today. I'm not going to introduce you to him, but I guess I can show you him flying or stuff. And he asked if anyone would like come flying with him, because I think it's just his 7th flight. The goal is that you've got a little hand holding and stuff when you're first getting started, rather than like, you know, just go out there and wing it. So whatever level of help he wants, checking his lines and helping, you know, look at where to launch and wind direction and stuff, I'll do that. And if he wants me to back off, I'll do that instead. For my flight, I've been working on, like, I don't even want to call it acrobatics or aerobatics yet. Maybe pre-acro, but that's what I've been up to lately. I should say, if you guys watched my last Paramotor video, I didn't film it very well. And it was actually cooler than the filming indicated. One, it looked forward, and two, I realized what part of the problem was. My camera has this image stabilization. So when I go like this, it just levels the horizon and makes it look like I didn't do anything, and whatever. So I'll try turning that off today and seeing what I think. Another option is to have 2 cameras. What's really not an option is to change the settings on the camera in mid-flight, because that's tricky, and take your helmet off, and if you have gloves on, it sucks. Here's the thing that I'm working on in particular. You guys can learn with me. A paramotor, for a given like pilot weight and wing and trim setting, has a speed that it wants to go, right? It wants to just travel along like this. When you take that wing and tilt it sideways, you start going faster. When you turn, you bank, you whatever, you're picking up a lot of speed. And as you exit that turn, now your wing, it slows down. It goes back to its natural speed. And since you're hanging there from the wing like this, right? If you just exit the turn, right, you're coming along, and then you exit the turn, whoa, you fly up like that. Now, sometimes when that happens, it's no big deal. You just sort of fly up and I slide back and whatever. If you fly up too much, then the wing might want to, you might go like this and down. That would suck. It would suck, but if you're high enough, you'll probably recover. What really, really is bad news, this is like the worst thing that can happen. You're flying around, you do whatever, you come up, and then it collapses straight down. It's called gift wrapping. And what it is you know, the pilot goes up, and then he goes into his own wing, and now he's wrapped up in the wing. The wing will never recover from that, right? There's no way. If your wing stops being a wing because you made a mistake or whatever, it wants to reinflate and start flying. These things are designed to reinflate. That's what they do. There's a lot of tech into it. If the pilot's in the middle of it, gift wrapped by the wing, you're out of luck. 2, when you throw your reserve parachute, you throw it into clear air, right? So if my wing is above me all wrapped up in a knot, I can throw my reserve into clear air and be fine. But if I'm wrapped up by the wing, then your reserve chute has a much higher chance of failure. It's hard to throw it out and let it inflate and become a parachute. So my main thing I'm focusing on today is not to get as extreme as I can. It's to be as controlled as I can. I just want everything that happens to be what I meant to happen. That's my definition of success. I'm going to talk about risk for a second. I was a surfer, on the East Coast I should mention, and there was nothing I considered too risky, because without being a jerk about it, I was really good in the water, right? I ended up, like, my first year on the high school swim team breaking 2 records. As a freshman in college, I broke more. And, like, I was really good in the water. It was natural for me. It was good. And there was nothing about East Coast surfing that I considered too dangerous. So if there's a hurricane or a nor'easter or bad rips or whatever, I always thought everything was fine. That didn't scare me. Mountain biking, you know? I take that risk profile, dial it back a bit. 1, I was not as good. And 2, I mean, instead of falling in the water, we're talking about trees and rocks and hills and cliffs and stuff like that. So I take that risk profile, dial it back a little bit, you know, and that's where I need to be. You get to choose your own risk profile. When it comes to paramotoring, you know, this is aviation stuff, and the penalty for messing up is really big. You know, not everyone dies, but you could break a spine, you could be, like, terrible things could happen. So I take that risk profile, dial it back some more. And so my goal today is not to do infinity tumbles, which is like loops, loops, loops. My goal is to is for everything I do to be what I meant to do. Yeah, so I'm going to get a little bit set up. I came too early. I made a mistake on the math. It's like I have to leave at 3:15. I didn't. I had to leave at 3:45. Anyway, I'm going to get set up, and the Gabe should be here shortly. All right. So it's been about an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes since I talked to you guys. We got Gabe up in the air doing great. Even more importantly, I think he would have done great even if I didn't help him. So he seems like he's on the right path up there, which is fantastic. I'm just putting on my heated gloves. I'm going to strap in, warm up.
Hey guys, Woody from the future here. Look, I have been working to dial in my audio and make it really great. I have not hit like my personal standard for where I want this to be. My challenge is that as my own voice is not that good, it's hard to, separate it from the motor and figure out what's good and bad when, even perfection is pretty bad. I've had allergies this year, just really special ones that seem to kick in longer, something I have never had before in my life. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and we will get this audio dial in awesome. I aspire to have the best audio in the Paramotor world. We'll get there.
All right, so this should be a pretty safe altitude. I'm going to see if I can get some controlled turns. Here we go. That's a turn. There's Gabe down there. We both came up here to work on stuff. Like I talked about beforehand, I wanted to make some turns and just do what I meant to do. He's a newer pilot, and he's working on getting comfortable in the air. He's going to break his personal altitude record and, just get some time airborne so that he's happy and not scared. It's easy to make bad decisions when you're in the red, right? Like motorcycle riders have seen plenty of times where people straighten up in front of a turn instead of, just leading harder and going for it, because nothing good ever happens. So just hitting a turn straight on. I know, like yesterday I was shooting a pistol, and if I just shoot paper or with no rush, I'm not bad. But when you put me in a competition situation, I'm worse than I am without the pressure. Everybody's like that, right? So I think that's where he is. He's like, you know what? Let's just get cool here and make sure that he's the best version of him, getting comfortable in the air. So he's going a little higher, maybe a little longer, and getting relaxed, which I totally understand. Like, I was there times 2. I definitely have a preference for when I leave those pre-wing overs to sort of spiral out of it. Like, it's my favorite way of dealing with the speed. Then if I exit the turn slowly, I don't get that giant rock forward. if I rock forward too much, then, like I said at the beginning of the video, ugly things happen. One of the things that pilots work on is doing a spiral with your wingtip on the horizon. So I'm going to give that a go. First, I want to make sure I'm over a farm. I noticed my wing does that. After a revolution or two, it seems to want to stand up straight again. I've done it for longer. I'll try it again. Nice, Woody. Get back, get back. See? I don't know if I went longer that time or not, but yeah, my wing wants to stand up. And I was careful to make sure it wasn't me. Like I pulled more brake and I weight shifted, but now you get what you get. So long as I'm safe and happy, it's a good flight. Gabe looks safe and happy. I'm gonna try coming down low. See if there's any fun to be had there. So, I'm particularly looking for power lines. Power lines and paramotors don't mix well. And sometimes you can be surprised, like in a farm setting, that they're across the fields and not just parallel to roads. And this place is new to me, so I might not even go down low enough to hit a power line. I don't know, we'll see. But what I'll definitely do is kind of recon it and make sure that I've taken a good look. On the ground, you would think like, oh, power lines are incredibly easy to spot, because I did. And they tell you like, no, they're invisible, you can't see them. And I thought, well, not invisible, you're exaggerating. The thing is, when you're looking from the top down, like if you look out there, you can see the poles, but the line itself is very hard to see. And in the less populated areas, the poles can be farther apart. And, you know, like look here, there's no road here. And sometimes the poles are closer to the trees. Like, oh shit. See, that power line surprised me. Even when I saw the pole, because I only saw one, I didn't know like where it was going, and I straight up couldn't see it at all. This is why I fly at double their height and do some recon, you know, like know what you're dealing with. I kind of realized that I think part of my motivation for getting this low is to make an interesting video, and I just don't think that's a safe mindset. So I'm not going to get that low, you know, anymore. Not unless I feel more comfortable. I'm looking for Gabe, but I don't see him. So I'm going to head back to the LZ and see if he landed. My guess is he got cold, because it's kind of cold out. Oh, there he is. He's kind of circling the LZ right now. He might be coming in for a landing. I wish we had radios, because Like, he might prefer to watch me land first, which I would do. But I think he's coming in for a landing. I think we're about to see it. Man, he's only had like 7 flights, and he's literally never had a bad landing. He seemed to have picked it up much more quickly than I did, which is great. Checking all my stuff, see if I'm ready to land too. I expect it to be pretty much a 0-wind landing. This looks really similar to landing at my house, so I should be half decent at it. Wow, I feel like I'm flying. I mean, like going fast. Come on. That'll do. What a good day.
So, here I am in the car doing my outro. It was great. Totally successful night. I'm wearing my helmet. How cool is this, huh? How's this for a drive? Gabe had a great time. He kind of expanded his own skill set a little bit. I had a great time, did the same. In terms of like acro, the stuff I did, I didn't break any new records. I didn't go further than I had gone before. I did have one turn that wasn't exactly what I meant for it to be, and that was a learning experience too, and that is why I'm doing it in baby steps. I'm pretty sure that if I wanted to, I could lay my wing right now in the dark and get upside down. But that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for baby steps, chipping away at it instead of just like going bonkers and hurting myself or having things go wrong. I'm not going from 0 to 100. I'm going to hit every mile per hour in between. So there it is. Just my casual advancement into what to me seems like the natural progression of paramotoring. But other guys, maybe they just like cross country and they just go. You do whatever you like. Yeah, so Gabe was pumped. It was pretty neat. Like, he literally is like fist pumping happy on a high. Also, and I don't want to say too much, I don't think Gabe would mind me saying, Gabe has, he's working through like being frightened in the air, just like I did, and I don't know if other people lie or if they don't have that, but I just totally understand like where he is on like his progression chart. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna hit home.
Oh, all right, there's one more thing. So I'm like a few miles from home, and there was a guy stopped at a green light. So I like tapped the horn, as you do, and he put his hazards on. And I don't know why, but when I pulled up next to him, I rolled the window down, asked him if it was okay. He's totally out of gas. I offered to give him a ride here, but he has his girlfriend with him, and he didn't want to like leave her alone. So instead, he gave me $20 to buy him gas and stuff. So I'm gonna do that, and I'll be back with a tank of gas for him. Here we go. Alright, I'm sure you can't see me in the darkness, but I'm almost here. I bought him gas, it was no big deal. Well, he actually gave me the money, I just picked it up. And he should be stuck at this light. Yeah, there he is, you see him? I'll turn it around. That's him with his hazard lights on. So I'm just gonna park in the grass here and get him on his way. So that actually worked out really cool. It was a Mexican guy. He was young. He was with his girlfriend. Looked like they were getting started in life. I don't know. I feel good. So I did a good thing. I'm going to put my paramotor back where it goes, and my wife's inside. I think dinner's like on the table. It's a good day.
Yeah, multi-million-dollar deals, got $1 million deal. When I was younger, I would wonder how $1 million feel. And for real, it feel like I ain't even broke a seal. Cause when you drop hits, they want you to pick up the bill. Now my life is in Maryland, my heart is in Chicago. New York state of mind, but out LA, man, that's where I go. When I need to lay this shit down, so much on my mind, that's the reason I'm spitting now.